Welcome back, folks, to another episode. This time it's episode 6 of the Max Statman Podcast. And before we get started, I just want to give a special thanks to all of you out there on behalf of everyone at Max Statman working behind the scenes and also at Forza Juve EN. It was a long season filled with ups and downs, but it's over now. And just want to give a big hug and a big thank you to everyone. And a big hello to my good friend in Montreal, David Bruno. David, how are you, sir?
Hey, doing great. It's a great day today. A little bit of a nail biter, but I'm glad we came through.
The season is over, and I gotta be honest, David, I could not be happier. For the last month, I just wanted this thing to end. Yes, of course, I wanted it to end the way it did for us today, but to be honest, near the end, I was just getting tired and I just wanted this thing to end regardless. And I'm so happy it ended in our way. I want to give a special thanks to Hellas Verona and their coach Juric, who pushed these guys hard because they are professionals. And that's what professionals are supposed to do. Go out and play every single game like it's their last. And Hellas Verona, you did the job. Thank you very much. And I wanted to touch on Juric before we go any further. There was a Sky Sports interview going around after the game with the Hellas Verona coach where they were grilling him and questioning him as to why his men were playing so hard today. And he basically told them to go screw themselves and walked off the screen before explaining to them that we came out hard because we are professional. And that's the crap that we had to take all season long from all the media, all the fake news media all over the world, including in our very own Italy, how much they hate and spited Juventus. But with all that hate and spite, guess what? We're still there. You guys wanted us dead, and we are still there. David Bruno, how you feeling about that?
Feel it's much well deserved, and for all the put down we had this year, UEFA against us, Serie A against us, COVID regulations, having this Napoli game moved, and just carrying on, giving us points, taking points away. It's just a big slap back to them. We got in, they didn't want it, they were against us. We proved them wrong.
We did prove them wrong. And before we get into the lineups, I want to talk about how you were feeling this morning. I was feeling very nervous. Woke up, did my usual, went for bacon and eggs, went for my run, came back, did some work on the account, but I have to say I was extremely nervous leading up into this game. I guess you could say I literally had cold feet because my feet were frozen. That's how nervous I was. David Bruno, how were you feeling going into this game this morning?
Confident. I knew we were going to take them.
You,
There was
you
no there was there
well,
was no way we weren't going to take them. The
absolutely.
only nervousness I could have felt was having fate in the hands of the Napoli and Verona game and the Milan and Atalanta game. So
And
I was pretty confident. I knew no matter what, one of those two teams would drop points today.
And to add
And
to the
we did.
nerves, where the lineups came out, and a bit of a shock at the beginning, David. We had, wasn't too much of a shock coming from the back with Sandro and Quadrado on the wings, with Chiellini and Delit in the middle. But as we get closer up, as we move up into the midfield, this is where a little bit things started to become a surprise as he went with Chiesa on the left side, Kulusevski back on the right side, where he did play a little bit earlier this season, but coming off his two stellar performances, you would think he would slot Kulusevski back into where he was the last few games and doing well. Instead, he put him into a position on that right mid side where he tried him a few times this season. It didn't seem to go well. So when you first saw that, what were you thinking?
He's out of position. We found his position. Why are we regressing and putting him back on that wing where we knew he didn't perform well this season? He even spoke, I believe it was an interview when he was with Sweden. He had mentioned that he had been playing out of position all season and it had been a bit hard to adapt to Juventus. So after the performance we've got over the last several games, I was very surprised seeing him placed there. Yeah.
Very surprised too. And then to add to the shock was not really so much Dybala. I maybe thought, okay, Dybala, this makes sense. But the man beside Dybala, it wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo. It was Alvaro Morata.
Yeah,
And I got to
that
tell
was a
you,
shocker. That was a shocker
it was a
seeing that.
shocker to you, it was a shocker to me, and it was a shocker to all Juventini all over the world because when I was checking social media, people were going crazy. Even some friends of ours, they were cursing Pirlo, wanting him out before this game even started, not even wanting to give this lineup a chance. And yeah, I said this added to my nervousness, but after a while, I calmed down and I said, maybe this lineup does make a little bit of sense. I was thinking about it from Ronaldo's perspective too, because there was a tweet that came out afterwards, Sky Sports reporting that this had nothing to do with Ronaldo it was Romano who first reported that this had nothing to do with Ronaldo being injured. But then Sky Sports added to that and then later said that no, in fact, it was Ronaldo who went up to Pirlo and said, yeah, I'm suffering from a little bit of muscle fatigue. And then Pirlo pulled him back. Now, I don't know if that's so much maybe Ronaldo really being fatigued, or maybe it could be, final game of the year. We're playing a French team in Serie A,
But we
and
needed the win. We
we
needed
did
the
need
win.
to
It was a
win.
crucial game, so you would think
But
he would
I'm
play.
thinking, maybe Ronaldo was trying to protect himself
Yeah, he
in
knows
case of
his body.
injury for Euros that are coming up in a few weeks.
He knows his body really well. So maybe he didn't want to risk something. Maybe he pulled the muscles very slightly. You never know.
We'll
He
never
knows
know.
his body better than anybody else, and he's a proven champion. And yeah, I don't know. People could take it a spec way where Ronaldo's out. Maybe they decided to bench him. Maybe it came from above
Well, we were
to
talking
not
about
play
that
him.
earlier, right, David? Of saying that there's no way Pirlo can just all of a sudden bench a $30 million a year player. Something like that has to be talked about in the group. We're talking Paratici, we're talking Nedved, we're talking and even Agnelli maybe. And this is a group decision. Even Ronaldo maybe got in on those conversations, but it was a
He
big
did. He did,
shocker.
he didn't seem upset on the bench though.
No,
Um,
pictures were coming out. He
Neither
looked
after the
very
game.
happy. Looked
After the
very
game, he
happy in
looked
warm
very
ups.
happy.
Yep.
Very happy. He posted on his social media a picture at the end of the of the game, Fino alla fine as well. Yeah,
It's just very strange to see a workhorse like Ronaldo,
not
who,
playing.
yeah, who has played in every single game that mattered this year, and then all of a sudden you think this is the last game of the season, and to not see him there
Well,
was just
you would
go
think
on.
he'd want to add to the Campioneri and score, another goal or two. Who knows?
Well, you would think so, but he ended up getting that and becoming the first player to lead the way in scoring in Serie A, England, and Spain. So
Yeah.
congratulations to Cristiano Ronaldo on that feat. And how about we get into the game? As Juventus, I don't know, first minute they looked a bit nervous, but that sounds a little bit silly to say we after knowing the results because right after that, Juve were buzzing, and me and you were talking about this, saying right away Juve were buzzing, and they were on their game. They were in the mood, and we get a goal very early on. It was a ball that came in and that found space for Morata, who ran it down, and he had a beautiful backheel pass that came into Kulusevski. Kulusevski does what he's been doing the last couple of games in the
Oh, yeah.
boxes, bringing that ball back, finding his man, and he found Rabiot, who I thought was going to finish and score, and it looked like he did, but it hit the crossbar. And for all the nervous energy, maybe all the gasps that
So
came
it took
after
a bit
hitting
of a
that bar,
bounce. Took a bit of a bounce before it hit the crossbar
comes right back
off
to
one of the
Chiesa,
defenders.
and Chiesa with
That's
the
it.
left foot, been doing what he's
Taps it
doing.
home.
1-0 Juve, and David Bruno is thinking,
We're winning this game no matter what. I knew we were winning this game. I was looking at the at my app FootMob at the scores of the other two games.
my
Yeah,
first reaction to that goal was he did it again. Federico Chiesa, what can we say about the guy? I don't know if you have the stats in front of you for Freddie Church this year, but I know it's double digit in goals. I know it's double digit in assists, I believe. He was a force in the Champions League as well. Came
yeah.
to
He
play
had
scored a
Four
bunch.
goals, one assist in the Champions League. Serie A just with us, he's got 8 goals, 8 assists, and he has a brace or 2 goals, 1 assist in the Coppa Italia.
You think he is Juventus Player of the Year or what?
Look, Ronaldo scored more goals than him.
Hmm.
Ronaldo's goals definitely helped us win a lot more games than Chiesa's goals. But Chiesa, I believe, plays with the most heart on our team. So, yeah, I would say yes, but the goals would say Ronaldo, right? That's
How
kind
could
of
you
what I'm
not
getting
go
at.
with CR7? He's an icon. But
Amazing.
I don't know. There was so much. I don't want to say it hate, but there was a lot of controversy surrounding Chiesa when he first came to the club, and a lot of it coming from Juventini saying not wanting him,
Not me.
and not me either. But yeah, there were some guys out there who didn't want Chiesa.
I
Some friends of ours who admitted they were wrong. Good for them. And I think Chiesa proved everybody wrong. And in my perspective, my opinion, he was Juventus's best player this year.
Yeah, he definitely carried us or changed the energy in games, which led to us scoring more goals, winning the games. I remember when we were rumored to sign him, and I believe it was the last day of the transfer window. I was every single day reading the news. When are we going to sign it? When is it going to be official? We need to get him. Scolding Juve, looking after weeks upon weeks of rumors and not seeing it confirmed, saying, "Oh no, don't tell me we're not going to get him." Right?
And it came down to the last day, and we got our
He
man. And thank God we got him.
Oh yeah,
Thank
we've
God.
got three
Imagine,
three new princes in Delict, Kulusevski, and Chiesa at
imagine,
Juventus.
imagine not having Chiesa this year, though, Bruno. Just imagine not having that guy. Juventus are not in Champions League. That is 100% for sure.
Probably not. No.
No.
Uh,
So after that Dybala goal, Juventus keep pressing, and I believe it was in the 29th minute, a ball comes in from Quadrado, who finds Dybala, who gets by his man in the box, chips it over with his left. Looked like he was going in, but Morata, for good measure, taps it in with the head. It's 2-0 Juventus. Uh, the offside flag did not go up, but they did go to VAR. And for once this year, Morata was on the right side of a VAR
yes.
call.
Yeah. I was thinking, don't tell me Morata is going to get an offside in the last game. He's been so unlucky with it. Champions League, Serie A, across the board, I believe, in all competitions. The goal was beautiful. Dybala's outside boot chip, classic left foot right over to Morata. It was just such a perfect little header into the net, and we're up by 2. We're taking this one home. Same thing. We're looking at our phones. We're checking the scores of the other games. We're nervous for that. Very confident in Juventus. We're passing the ball around. We're playing a different game. We have more space. Bologna, yes, they were a little bit laid back, we can say today, but we had the time to really play our game, and we created so many chances. It was
Can we
a
give a
great
little
game.
bit more love to Paulo Dybala today, who took some criticism this year, was injured. A lot of Juventini online not sure that they want him back. Maybe wanting to sell Dybala. Maybe thinking Dybala's love for the club isn't what it used to be. I certainly don't think that. I certainly think he's very passionate about this club. But yeah, it was frustrating this season seeing Dybala not getting out there as often as he should. With all the reports coming out that he was cleared to play, but Dybala still feeling something. But today, he showed that magic again, and possibly was maybe even our man of the match. What did you think of Paulo Dybala, David?
He was great. He was dropping back deep. He was intercepting balls, trying to tackle his opponents. I saw him as kind of a link between the midfield and the attackers. Now, I know Dybala, he really thinks he's a striker. Myself, I believe he's kind of like a center attacking mid. He kind of hovers a bit on the right side, but he
Well, we
likes to
see
get
when he's playing
back
with
deep in the
Ronaldo, he
middle.
likes to hide on the flank a little bit, right?
Yeah. And then when he's not, he's playing with Morata. You see him more in the middle a little bit. Same on the flank, but he hangs around the middle. And I find he does really well behind the strikers. and he's able to play those passes that penetrate the defenders and send someone in for a goal. He wants to be a striker. I see him behind the strikers myself. That's my opinion.
And hopefully next season, Pirlo's kind of got a knack for where he wants to see Dybala, and we continue with
Well, first
where
he's
he.
got to sign a contract.
That's true.
Um,
First, he's got to
because
sign
if
the
he doesn't
contract.
sign that contract, we'll probably try to move him and make some money.
You want to get into that now a little bit. You think he's going to sign that contract? He wants the reporting 10 million euros a year.
Yeah, so he lowered his initial demands.
The
I
initial
think
was
you
12 million.
and Juve, if I recall, had offered him 10 million. So
Yeah,
I think
the original offer was 10 million, and basically it was a take it or leave it at the time. So
yeah,
now the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
word in the press is that he has lowered his fee to 10 million euros, and now it's Juventus's call.
I think he truly loves the club. There was talk on social media when he changed his profile picture to the captain armband.
Yep.
It looked like he was one of, if not the last player to go off the pitch today. I saw him coming off and then Pirlo right him back. He really loves the club. I mean, we always saw him as that future Del Piero replacement, future captain, long-term captain. It's all about commitment, right, from both sides.
And you know what? He was also in on the third goal as he gave a beautiful pass
Yep.
into Chiesa, who flicked it onto Kulusevski. Kulusevski finding Rabiot, and Rabiot putting it in the back of the net.
Yep.
And seeing Rabiot get another goal, it feels great because finally we're talking so much about how Kulusevski was coming into his own in the last few games, and
Yep.
I think we could say the same about Rabiot. Rabiot has looked stellar. I have to say he has looked stellar in the second part of the season, and I'm excited for his future, David.
He has his moments, but after I saw that goal, the first thought, I wrote it down. Um, I keep Rabiot. I move Bentancur. I try to make a little bit of profit off of that, the fact that he was included in the Tevez deal all those years ago.
Yeah.
I keep Rabiot. He's been not completely consistent. He'll go on
Sorry,
a
that
run
no,
of a couple of
that
good.
was Bentancur.
Rabiot has been somewhat consistent. He goes on a run of a couple of good games, and then he has a bad game every now and then. He's played pretty well in the last third of the season, and I would keep him. I would allow Bentancur to go. I would
Yeah.
make profit off of Bentancur, because we got him in the Tevez deal so many years ago. It's time to cash in.
And around this time that he got that goal in the 45th minute, uh, it was 0-0 for, I believe it was 0-0 for Verona and Napoli at the time. But right at the edge of half, we get a goal from Milan. I was switching back and forth in the game, and it was Hernandez who gets taken down in the box. Milan are given another penalty, and they go up 1-0 with the Kese goal, and I'm very, very nervous. I know you were too nervous to watch all the games, David, but going into halftime now with Juve up 3-0, we know it's a slam dunk. They're pretty much going to win. We know that Napoli and Verona are 0-0, but that's the game that we expected maybe Napoli to win. We expected Milan to lose. If we were expecting to get a favor done, we thought it would be Atalanta getting us that favor. So to see Atalanta, the one trailing at halftime, and Verona, the one doing the job for us, was a little bit of shock, and it add to the stress thinking it's just a matter of time before Napoli win. What were you thinking, Dave?
Another penalty, another goal for Kessie, another penalty goal for Kessie. He scored two today, actually.
He
I
did.
believe I believe he's got 10 or 11 goals that are just penalties of his 13. Um, I just see it as people always complain that Juve are the team that the refs always give penalties to. Oh, it's always Juventus. It's always Juventus. It's been AC Milan this year.
It's been Milan.
I didn't see the call, I'll be honest. But I was thinking we need something to happen in that Napoli game. Napoli
I,
needs to lose, draw, something needs to happen because AC Milan is probably going to win this game. Looking at the stats, it looks like Atalanta had AC Milan. Um, you're praying that they tie it up at that point, right?
Yep. I saw I
Everything's on the
saw
line.
I saw Till get taken down. It was another soft call. Milan's been getting all these calls this year. It's not the first time. At that point, I was kind of just reserved to say, you know what, just take it, because he's just been getting every single call. And at this point, I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. The whole world can see, like you just said, it's not Juventus. It's not just Juventus. So maybe it's a good thing that it went this way. Maybe the world can now see that Serie A, it's not fixed for Juventus. Milan getting all these calls too. So maybe we can just put that discussion to rest.
Hmm.
But coming out of halftime, looked like Bologna got a goal from Palacio, the legend. Well, not really a legend, but he's got that little ponytail like the real legend,
So
Baggio. But it
it's
was called off.
a rat tail and a
A
half,
rat,
I'd call it.
rat tail. I actually had one of those when I was a kid. Big fan of Baggio, big fan of New Kids on the Block. So yeah, I had a rat tail myself, similar to Palacio. Yeah, I know, I was a nerd, but I chopped it off when I was 10 years old, and I think my mom has it somewhere in one of her books. I'll look for it. Maybe I'll bring it and show you guys my Baggio ponytail next episode.
We should burn it together.
We should. So the goal's ruled offside, but Juventus get a goal their own minutes later as I'm already laughing because the assist came from Wojtek Szczesny with a beautiful ball. I don't know
Great,
what's I don't know
great
what's
ball.
I don't know what was better, David Bruno.
He just saw him. He just saw him open
the
there.
the ball to Morata, or the fact that Morata brought it down like he was Del Piero in his prime, turns with his left, and then slaps it into the net. At first, he had the flag up, but for once, actually for twice this year, VAR saved Morata.
Well deserved. It was a great, beautiful first touch. Amazing skill to just snatch it out of the air and turn, and then that's it. Murata, when he gets in that close on goal, he's going to put it in the net.
He is going to put it in the net. But speaking of putting in the net, Napoli put one in the net for themselves not too long after that, maybe 10 minutes after that goal, as it was their man Rachman who scored with the head, makes it 1-0 for Napoli. And at this point, I'll admit, I'm shitting myself, David Bruno. What were you thinking?
Something needs to happen. Something needs to go. Now, there's two teams. I don't care who does it. One of them score a damn goal. Verona, score a goal. Atalanta, score a goal. Just get a goal.
That's
We
exactly
need
what
that.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Not so much the Napoli. I'm thinking at this time, okay, the Napoli game is over. And I was always the way I was feeling. This is how I was feeling. I was feeling that okay, Napoli's gonna get their win. This is expected. Now Atalanta, please come back. Please come back. Please come back. And in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have been looking that way because Verona, like I said, thank you very much. Yes, Atalanta was playing their ass off, but if you watch that Verona game, especially Juric, their coach, yelling at them, yelling at Gattuso, it was like it wasn't like Napoli was qualifying for a match. Sorry, it wasn't as if Napoli had Champions League on the line. It was almost as if Verona had Champions League on the line too. That's how they were playing, and they continue to play strong. And we got a solid from the newest legend of Juventus. Well, he doesn't play for the club; he plays for Verona, but he's a Juve legend now, and his name is Davide Frioni, as he gets the goal in the 68th minute. It was a beautiful ball to him, who they took into the box, finishes it off the post, and it's 1-1 Napoli-Verona. I'm still shitting myself, but now it feels like, okay, there's hope. Please, can one of these two, can Atalanta get a goal, and can Verona hang on? David Bruno.
It was, like I said earlier, it was a nail biter. You're trying to focus on one game, and then you have two other games that your fate depends on, right? So it was difficult to maintain calmness during that. I knew Juventus was going to win. At the end of the day,
Well, we're winning 4-0.
Napoli are fully capable of scoring a second goal with the people.
Let's just get this game out of the way first. Juventus are winning 4-0, and they get a goal from Arsenal in the 85th. It's a beautiful pass again from Palacio. Palacio having an amazing game for Bologna, who, let's face it, Dave, Bologna were already on vacation, no?
Yeah, they didn't go hard today at all. They gave us a lot of space. They a lot of giveaways. I mean, we could have scored a lot more than 4 goals too.
We could have. It could have been 8-1 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But we didn't need to. We get the win. Game's over. And now we're last 10 minutes of the Atalanta match and the Napoli match. And I can't take it. The last time I felt this nervous, Dave Bruno, the last time I felt this nervous, I won't say excited or happy, but nervous, was 2006 World Cup when Italy and France were in injury time. How are you feeling in the last 5-10 minutes of the Napoli Verona match, Atalanta Milan match?
Yeah, kind of similar. Just really nervous. It's just pretty much let's get this to end. Hopefully it ends on a high note. Hopefully it ends well. Uh, you know, it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
ruin it. It'll ruin absolutely everything. Like we come off a great win like this. If Napoli ends up winning that game, it'll
I'm
just
gonna
destroy it.
sound a little bit like a wuss, but I was watching all three games at the same time today. There was a great picture I put on Twitter of all my screens of me watching all the games, and I was nervous throughout, and I was sticking it out. But once I knew that Juventus had that win, and it was signed, sealed, delivered, I have to admit, in the 85th minute of all matches, I copped out and I put on my shoes and I left the house and I went for a walk and I set a timer on my phone for 10 minutes and I basically walked around my block, and when that 10-minute timer went off, I checked my phone and I got the good news. Uh, and I was screaming, going crazy. The neighbors that are outside cutting the grass were looking at me like I'm a weirdo. Yes, I am a weirdo. You got to be extra weird for even loving Juventus for everything they have put us through over the years. But game's over, Dave. We are in the Champions League. How excited were you? First of all, were you as excited as the players? What did you think of their reaction when they were in the dugout? I don't know if you saw the retweet I did of Julian Dos Santos' video, but they're all huddled up in the dugout. They got
Oh
the
yeah,
camera on, and then boom, they get the news like the rest of the world, and they're celebrating.
everyone just goes crazy. Everybody's happy. Kulusevski's there with a water bottle, spraying water on everybody. All smiles around, Ronaldo included, Dybala. All hugs with the coach. It looks like a team that really does have a chemistry together. A team that really loves each other.
Did you see?
Brothers.
Did you see Pirlo and the coaching staff celebrate how excited they were? Pirlo, who got criticized this year for being a little bit of a passive coach, and it shows in his post-game press conferences. Not really as charismatic as we're used to in some Juve coaches in the past, like Max Allegri. Uh, Pirlo comes off very boring and repeating the same thing over and over again. But we saw in the Coppa Italia final after the game, and now we saw after today the emotions. And, this is something Juventini love to see. We love to see. Not we love to see. First of all, we love to see our captain scream. We love to see our leaders in the back scream. We love to
Goalkeeper
see our
scream like
goalkeeper scream.
Buffon.
But we also love to see the manager scream. We also love to see the manager filled with emotion. And for Andrea Pirlo, the emotion wasn't always there this season, but it came out at the end. So here's a question for you, David Bruno. We know where I stand. I kind of came back and said, I want Allegri, someone more balanced, someone who looks like they have a plan, have a project. But I will admit, I was wrong. And in these last few games to end the season, it looks like Pirlo has a plan. It looks like these guys are playing in Pirlo's vision. And I'm going to say it right here, right now. Pirlo, I believe, will be the head coach of this team next year. And everything he's been through, he was set up to fail. I give Pirlo until Christmas, David Bruno.
Yeah, I kept saying it. If we win the Coppa Italia, if we qualify for a Champions League spot, we won the Super Copa. I think he's earned the spot. I do see him as a manager next year. He has earned the role. The team looks like they are fighting for him. They're looking like they're playing his game a little bit more in the last final third. So the team is actually playing like a team, which they were not for numerous parts of the season, changing the lineups, changing the formations. Now we kind of found it. And if we continue to build on it and fit the right new players into it, we should thrive. Now, if Juve aren't satisfied with Pirlo, the only way I see them replacing Pirlo is if they invest money and they're going to get a Zidane or who knows, a Klopp or I'm not saying I want Klopp, but a
Yep.
Guardiola, a big coach, right?
Yep.
If
Yep.
you're going to go and get someone like Mihailovic or Gattuso or whatever, it's not worth it. Continue with
Yep.
Pirlo. And if you're going to change coach, and if you're staying with Pirlo, either way, you need to invest in the squad. So do it.
And you know what,
That's
Dave?
that's my
The
opinion.
the most
And
important thing you
and
said at the
I'm
beginning.
getting a bit hungry right now, Adam.
Me too. The most important thing you said at the beginning of that was they are fighting for him. And it honestly looks like in the last few games, Dave, they are fighting for him. And that's been my biggest, that's what's changed my opinion the most and made my decision to keep Pirlo until at least Christmas. Give him to at least next Christmas.
Yeah,
Is because you know what? These guys are fighting for him.
yeah,
You
they
knew
are.
the relationship wasn't there with Sarri. But with Pirlo, it's there.
They
It's there.
they're all hugs, all taps, all handshakes when they come off the pitch for substitutions. You could tell that they really do like and respect him. And I mean, it's hard not to respect a player as decorative as he is throughout his career. Won the Champions League, the World Cup, he's won Serie A. He's a Milan legend. Unfortunate to say, he's a Juventus legend. That's
I
absolutely
think he's more of a Juventus, even though
he is.
he has
He
those
has
Champions League
he
with
has more
Milan.
he has more years at Milan
Yeah,
with
he
the
has more
and the
years and
Champions
the
League.
Champions Leagues, but I think he's considered more of a Juventus legend at this point.
Well, he's a legend for me in
Yep,
Italian football in general.
yep.
Yeah, he's a great player, and the team seems to really appreciate it. You see, his experience is paying off. Quadrado, the assists, the passing. Rabiot's looking a lot better in the midfield. He has players that he can work on. Uh, Arthur, we haven't seen much of him this year. He had a couple of good passes penetrating at the end of the game. And we had a tic tac toe chance at the end of the game between Arthur, Dybala, a couple of players right at the end of the game, and that's how I want to see us play.
It
If
looked
we
like
can
sorry
continue,
ball out there.
if we can play like that next year, and we just add that Locatelli or the DePaul or some creative midfielder to the game, I think we can definitely go a bit further.
Now we talked about the celebrations and Pirlo's emotions. Another player we saw very emotional after the final whistle in Napoli was Cristiano Ronaldo. We talked earlier; he didn't get the start. Looked very happy on the bench. Maybe he says, "You know what? I'm tired. I don't want to risk injury for Euro." That's fine. We were playing a bunch of farmers. We had this, in my opinion, we have always had this game. But Ronaldo,
Yeah,
what is his future, Dave? What do you see the future of Ronaldo?
he's
First of
gonna
all, is
decide.
this team? He is going to decide, but is this team better off with or without him right now?
We play more of a united team game without him, I think, in the rare times we've seen. Uh, Mind you, Murata has scored a brace when we beat Lazio 3-0. He scored a brace today. Are we keeping Murata? I'm not too sure. He's got 20 points, I believe, in Serie A amongst all his goals and assists. He's a pretty good player. Ronaldo, we have so many question marks right now between Ronaldo, Dybala, Murata, the Ramses, the this, the that. We need to just look in the mirror. We need to really have some constructive talks. Ronaldo may have already decided his future. I I don't think him not playing was a sign because you'd think he would get
I
subbed
don't. I
on
don't.
and
I just
subbed
want to
on
add
and
to
they would
that.
applaud or something like that if he
Yeah,
was
I
really
didn't think.
leaving.
Yeah, no. I just want to add that I
Yeah.
didn't think it was a sign of anything either. Go on.
But I think if he was really going to leave at this summer, he would have made an appearance and he would have got that last appearance.
Yes. Yes.
I really don't know. Only time will tell.
Now, time will tell, but I want to put you on the spot a little bit. In your opinion, your Juventus management, 1 year left on the contract. We haven't got over the hump with Ronaldo. We were almost there, and when we signed Ronaldo, we thought, okay, this is it. And we haven't got any closer. In the Champions League, we have taken steps back. So, David Bruno, in your opinion, should we keep Ronaldo or sell him? Are we better off selling him? Is it better for the future of the club to sell Ronaldo, or do we just let his contract expire? Or try to even re-sign him?
He decides. He decides because if you're selling him, you're not trying to make. It's not because you're trying to make a big profit or a bunch of money. It's offloading a salary. So Ronaldo decides at the end of the day. We didn't get over the hump. We didn't win the Champions League, but a guy who scores as many goals as he does isn't a problem. Um, if we can play like a team with him, and we have in the last couple of games at the same time, then continue with him. He'll decide his future at the end of the day.
He will. And let's get into our last topic here. And we're talking last week about how important it was. How I was saying, maybe it wasn't such a big deal if Juventus doesn't make the Champions League and we finish fifth. But you quickly put me in my place and made me understand that no, Adam, the most important
We need
thing
it.
for this club is to make Champions League. And now that we got Champions League again, and maybe it was a little bit of superstition on my part. I know it's the right thing to get that Champions League money. So, David Bruno, my question is now that we're officially in Champions League again, we get that money, we're secure. Do you see Juventus having a good or bad mercato? What do you think is going to happen?
We've had a lot of loss from COVID. It really depends on who we can offload. De Sciglio is apparently interested in staying at Lyon. He did well,
Well,
and
they won a
they're
championship, so that's
negotiating.
good
Yeah,
news for us.
they're negotiating to sign him permanently.
Yep.
Who knows what's going on with Rugani at the moment? Um, we need to get rid of players. Look at the Douglas Costa. We sent him on a
Gone on
loan,
loan to Grimo.
so we didn't sell him,
So
right?
who
So
would you
we need to
like to see gone, Dave? Who would you like to see gone in
I
the
say
midfield?
I wouldn't swap Bentancur. I would sell him and try to make some money. And I would sell Ramsey. I would sell Sandro and try to upgrade Sandro, even though he's had some good games. And yeah, I mean, I think Locatelli would be a good signing.
That's your main target, Locatelli.
Can't reveal everything. You'll see on the next episode, guys.
All right,
Mercado
guys.
edition.
Mercado edition. And let's get to that. Guys, if you're still around for this, we just want to say thank you, first of all. But second of all, we have a big summer planned. Me and Dave will be back this summer with Mercato news, live streams, all kinds of fun. And we're going to even have a special guest, Max Statman himself. Yes, Max Statman himself will join our
Yep.
live streams and give us breaking Mercato news. So look for that. Look for the announcements on Twitter, guys. We are going to be there. But before we go, I just wanted to also give a shout out to our boy Carlo Ponsolio, who we forgot to talk about in the game, but he came on in the 67th minute. He let in a goal, but you know what? I think it was cool that Ponsolio, not Buffon, who got his sending off in the last game, but it was kind of cool to see Ponsolio get some minutes. Not just for the Juventinis all over the world that like to, celebrate Ponsolio because of what he means to this club. He's been our biggest cheerleader on the sidelines.
Yeah,
but for
he's
Ponsolio
amazing.
himself,
Legend.
any words on Carlo Ponsolio before we go, David Bruno?
He's a legend. I believe his contract's up. I have no idea if he's going to get a new contract. He'll go down remembered as the best cheerleader on the sideline, as the man who's friends with everyone on the squad. He's your buddy. He edges you on. He'll encourage you. All smiles all the time. he's got a great personality. So grazie, Pinsolio.
Grazie Pansolio. And guys, it's that time of the night again where I am getting kind of hungry. I got a pizza ready to go into the oven. David Bruno, what do you got planned?
Got 20 minutes to get across the city because we've got a curfew still here in Quebec. So I am out of here, guys.
You hear
Thanks
that,
for joining
guys?
us, and we'll
You
see
hear
you
that,
on the
guys?
next episode.
And before we go, we would love to say a special hello to all of our brothers and sisters in the beautiful country of
Rwanda. Ciao, Max. Ciao, everybody. Have a great night.
Guys, thank you. Have a good summer. Look for the announcements online. We will be back with live streams shortly. Max Statman Podcast Episode 6 is in the books. We are in the Champions League. We are all
Forza
happy.
Juve.
Forza Juve.
Fino alla fine.
Fin.